McCarthy.
Thank you, Cahill, and apologies for coming in late. I've been at other committees, and thanks for being here today. Just regarding the Irish Council for Social Housing, I'm delighted to say that I'm involved in an approved housing body, and we won an award, the Irish Council for Social Housing Award for Carrigeedon in Wicklow, in Greystones, and it was a fantastic project and we've 34 units of housing there for people that come from a cohort of addiction and mental health issues. So I've seen exactly when a council works together with an AHB, the difference that it can make, and it also demonstrated how AHBs on the ground can make a difference, especially in the area of a disability. And I spoke this morning this afternoon with the department about how in May this year we had a new unit we were working on for a person off the emergency housing list who had disabilities. So we did the deal through CAS in May, and it took until Christmas to get the keys. It took 8 months to actually close. So this person with disabilities was in emergency accommodation, and every week I was saying, where are we on this, where are we? And we genuinely were tagging him along because we thought it'll be a week, it'll be 2, it'll be a month. It went on for 8 months. So it's just that sort of stuff is unforgivable and frustrating. So I'm just wondering, especially as I mentioned the ICSH, is there a stronger role for AHBs here to act as leaders, as champions in the area of working with local authorities and target housing delivery for people with disabilities? That's the first question.
Hi, I'm Lindsay from the ICSH.
You gave me the award, did you, Lindsay?
I gave you the award. It speaks very much to my response previously where I mentioned the housing delivery action plans. We have really strong examples across the country in many, many local authorities where we work in very strong partnership with the local authorities to deliver on that local need and that regional need. So I think from our sector, we're absolutely leaders and drivers in it. What we need, I suppose now, is for the housing delivery action plans to really include us in that consultation process so that we can be drivers in that space rather than waiting for the housing delivery action plans to be published and then respond to them. I think that we can play a much stronger role in that regard. I think that's a really good opportunity for us now as well. And it is a different way of doing things, I think, and it's a way that we are well positioned to respond and respond very effectively and efficiently. We have, as I say, 40 years experience of delivering homes to a very high level, and I suppose we've been scaling up repeatedly over those 40 years. Obviously many of our members have been around before then, but over those 40 years we've seen a significant scale up. Every need and demand that has been identified as requiring a response from the AHBs has been met. We've delivered 40 to 50% of all social housing across the country in the last number of years, and we're ready to do more. That's again one of the opportunities that I really want to push home here, is that the AHBs have the experience, the expertise, the willingness and the drive to do more. So if anything, we want to see that role increase and scale up, not go the other direction.
Another question I just want to ask. I was working as part of the AHB. We had planning for a number of acres, and we had homeless accommodation, and it was all beautifully done. And there was extra land, and we went in for planning for disability, people with disability, and that housing was specialist. And we were refused because the local authority said that area, that housing was zoned as homeless accommodation. I was thinking, should local authorities be given clearer national guidance to identify, reserve suitable, well-located sites for such supported housing? Whoever's brave enough to answer.
In terms of zoning, I mean, we know there's specific accommodation, specific lands zoned, Z15 lands that are maybe clerical lands or whatever, and they're specifically for, would they say, health or community, and lots of those areas are being used for housing for people either older people in particular, which would be our interested fold. And we do utilise that land, and it's really, really valuable, because we can work directly with developers who purchase this land and as you know, and meet the terms of Universal Design Guide. Then we can do business with them in terms of delivery, not only on that specific meeting the planning obligations, but also delivering at scale. And I think there is an opportunity for zoning. It's quite difficult, and we would have quite, I suppose, diverse needs in terms of what Irish Wheelchair or Hale might want compared to Fold. We want volume, you know, we want to deliver at scale, because that brings us economies of scale, where, you know, they don't want, lots of the other organisations maybe don't want that
And Tina, can I just ask you,
concentration.
what's the biggest blockage for you to deliver at scale? Is it finance? Is it suitable units? Is it working with CAF, or what? Where's the blockage?
I wouldn't see that we have a tremendous blockage in terms of capital funding. We really work well with the CAF and P&A models. We have approved borrower status with the Housing Finance Agency. We have a good relationship with the department in terms of our application process, and we've got great experience, and we're specialists at our own construction. So the main key for us would be in terms of getting the joined up thinking, the revenue funding to support those additional services from the HSE. If we were to look at a different model in terms of keeping people out of nursing care, providing an extra care, a more sustainable housing model, that funding stream needs to support the capital funding. That needs to work hand in hand, and it needs to be on a multi-annual basis. We can't work on an annual basis.
But I'm just wondering, if there was no blockage, then how come the Irish Council for Social Housing, they said the demand is rising, but yet the provision and delivery is just over 300 homes last year, whereas the demand is over 1,000. So it seems to me there's a blockage somewhere.
We're a small organisation. I mean, in terms of, we've got just shy of 900 units in management, but in terms of scale, that's small. You know, we can only do so much. There's lots of space for everyone to be working at this. We work very close with our partners in the local authorities, across all 4 Dublin local authorities, Louth and Meath as well. But, you know, we can always do more. We do work with the capital funding model really well, but as I say, you know, to provide that extra support to keep people living independently as long as possible and enable them to age in place, we need to support that. It's not just about bricks and mortar, it's about bringing in those additional services. And for us, the blockage would be in terms of, you know, supported funding through a revenue stream for our communal facilities and also for our services.
Is this gentleman speaking?
If I may, just to add to that point, I just want to reiterate that we can talk about scale and all that, but there's no point getting housing if there is no PA service. Like, oftentimes, you know, when you apply for housing, people with disability, when they apply for housing, they're told they need a PA service to get housing before they even have the PA service in place. And then you need the housing to get the PA service, because the HSE will not provide the PA service unless you have some place to live to begin with.
So, what's a PA service?
You know, just to pick up.
Okay. Yep.
Just to pick up on that point on joined up thinking, you know, that needs to happen simultaneously, hand in hand, where both are working together. Thanks.
I think that's something that we as a committee can highlight that and write to the department, because that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and it's so important because the Department of Housing often carry the whole burden of this, and it isn't the Department of Housing's whole burden to carry. There are so many stakeholders involved. The housing piece is one side of it, like the capital construction and maintenance of a building unit is one side of it, but there's all of the rest that comes in. So it doesn't all rest at the heel of the Department of Housing, which, you know.
That's unusual. You get blamed for a lot of things.
But it is.
I could just add to the
I'm just conscious of time, and I want to let in Deputy O'Brien, and if I get a chance to come back, so just